In pursuit of the one-leg pistol squat.
Hey, this is Josh Hewitt. Welcome back to part 4 of In Pursuit of the One-Legged Pistol Squat. In today's tutorial, we're just going to look at some assistance exercises for increasing your knee, hip, and ankle stability. Because next tutorial, we're going to get into the full pistols. Okay, so we really want to make sure that all of those weak links are taken care of before we introduce full pistol squats. Okay, let's look at some of those assistance exercises and get those knees, hips, and ankles good and strong.
Okay, for the first exercise, you want to lean back against a ball at a bit of an angle with your feet extended down onto the floor so that when you raise your toes up, you can feel the resistance through the front of your shins. So your knees are locked straight. I call this exercise dorsiflexion toe taps, but it's basically like a reverse calf raise. And you should feel it right here in your shins or your tibialis anterior. The next exercise, you'll need a resistance band or resistance tubing. And you're going to place that over an anchor at some point and then loop it around the back of your knee. With this one, you want to stand with your feet next to each other and then raise your heel and bend the knee and then press the knee back till your leg is completely extended or locked out. While you do this, pressing your heel back and extending your leg, really strongly contract your thigh muscles. So strongly contract your quads. Try to hold that position for a couple of seconds before you release it. This next exercise is called a narrow stance squat. You're going to have your knees and your feet touching. So your legs are going to be next to each other, close to each other throughout the whole movement. Try not to let your knees come apart. Then you're going to squat down past parallel. Try to get your hips lower than your knees during this exercise. So I use a couple of hand weights to hold out in front of me for counterbalance because it's actually tougher than it appears to maintain balance and control with your legs this close together. But it's an excellent progression towards the pistol, working on your range of motion, your balance, and your flexibility with your legs this close together. Here's the front view. Again, make sure your knees and your feet are together and get that full range of motion. The next exercise is called hip thrusters. So you want to bring yourself back on a ball with your head and shoulders, or just your shoulders on the ball as a pivot point, and push through your heels, letting your hips bend and then pressing them towards the ceiling. You can add a weight such as a plate as I have here or a dumbbell on your waist for extra resistance. You can also do this exercise with your shoulders braced on a bench. The basic movement is bending of the hips, press your feet through the floor, and powerfully squeeze your glutes at the top. The last exercise is a straight leg raise. You want to get as much range of motion here as you can and strongly contract your abdominals and your hip flexors. This is going to assist you with those muscles that will help keep your one leg out in front of you when you're in the deep pistol position. So it's really important to have powerful hip flexors and core muscles when you're performing the full pistol squat.